Yeah, I'm Samuel. I'm going to demonstrate on how to test the capacitors, resistance, diodes, and transistors. So I have my motherboard here. I have the capacitors, and they have the diode here, the small, and then you have a big diode here. Then we have the resistors, and then the transistors here. So I'm going to use this digital multimeter to check out whether they're functioning all well. I will turn on my digital multimeter, and then for capacitors we say we connect and hold the red black probes of the multimeter to the positive and negative pins of the capacitors respectively. You hold this one, the black and the red, you put it here on the positive and negative sides of the capacitors respectively. You put it. Then for a good capacitor, the resistance reading should start at the certain value and increase until being open circuits. If the meter do not show any reading at start, the capacitor is open circuited and decreases its capacitance. If the meter do not open circuits in few seconds, the capacitor is short circuited. Then here is negative and then the positive. I put it where? Here on the capacitors. And then from the multimeter we put it at least at the higher number, which I will put it here on 200k. Then when I measure, I put to check, you will see that it should run continuously. Yeah, it should run continuously. That is for capacitors. Then we go to transistors. For transistors, which you see, this is the transistors. This is the transistors here, and you see. Then you connect the red probes to base and black probe to emitter. Reading should be few hundreds. All other configurations should be open circuits. So this is the transistors. Then I will put for transistors measure here. Then I will put this here, the both sides, so that we see whether it is functioning or not. We should not let the wires to combine itself together, so I put it separately. Then you see there, that is our transistors. We are measuring how it works. So that is supposed to be 0.5. This one is almost there, 0.5. So that is our transistors. So we go to diodes. In diode, first see what are the checks to be carried out for the diodes. Forward bias using range. Forward bias And then we have reverse bias. If both checks are open circuited or short circuited, diode is faulty. We need to check whether the forward bias or the reverse bias are short circuit or is faulty. So voltage across diodes. Use a power supply straight higher than diode's voltage. Mention voltage in diode should be shown in multimeter, otherwise it is faulty. So here is our diodes. When you see here, this is our diodes. So for diodes, we measure, you put there, then you put positive, this is negative, then you put it across here, then you see how we test our diodes. So our diodes in this case is not faulty, as you can see it's reading. So we go to resistors. This is our resistors here. This one's our resistors. So I put here, then put it in meter. Then here is our post B word 00 at start. This is our transistors. Then I put this here, then we check. Then we see the volume, the voltage, and we see whether our resistor is also well functioning. Here if you see, is well working, which is 0.95. So this is how I will end my demonstration on how to check on these components which are on the motherboards, whether they are functioning well or they have stored some power in them. So this is all I can demonstrate for now. Thanks. End the video.